Welcome to the Nuff Said podcast. We're talking Season 2, Episode 6 of Agents of S.h.I.E.L.D., A Fractured House. I'm rooting Rob Southgate, and with me is...
Jezebel Jacqueline Grosky.
And...
This is the Age of a Lil.
Age of a Lil. Very nice.
Very 70s.
Man, we are going to be punchy tonight, I have a feeling. There was an off-mic conversation that went places that I never thought the three of us would go.
Nope. I'll never forget him. Never.
Well,
not even in
and
my
the
nightmares.
sad thing is, I went there 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. Well, and if you want clues to what was talked about, just pay attention to our names because some of it was there. Okay, guys, we watched this. This has been a crazy week. So we watched it Tuesday night. We normally record on Wednesday, but instead, Tuesday night, we recorded our geek out about the Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron.
Well, no,
then,
it's all
it was
about
just
Marvel.
news.
Yeah, all the Marvel movie news.
Oh, right. It was all
thinking.
that. And then the next night, you did Super Connectivity with Charlie,
Yes,
which
where
normally we post on Monday, but I couldn't wait. I just posted it today. And here we are, and it seems like this episode happened a month ago. Like, I don't know how accurate we're going to be. Now, I did rewatch it, but even at that, when I saw the name of Fractured House, I was like, what episode is that? Oh, crap. We're in trouble. So, deep analysis, this is probably not your show. Rooting for answers, it probably is. So, let's do you guys want to talk out the beats of the show? Would that help you remember, or do you just want to talk about key moments? I want to talk about something. Did you notice when in the preview they showed at the very end for Ultron? Now, this is something that I read online. People were saying they were disappointed that the hammer didn't move when Captain America gripped it.
It did. It did move.
Clearly did.
It's like ever so slightly, and it made Thor go, huh?
Yeah, you saw
Exactly.
Thor have a reaction. Yeah, he had a reaction.
Why are people putting online that it didn't happen? And they're like, well, that would have been a perfect thing if it had moved. It moved. It did exactly what it's supposed to do.
Right. He is kind of worthy, and it was much more than anybody else could do. But it was just enough. I think it was like the imperceptibility. Like, I think a lot of people didn't catch on that because it was so subtle.
Hey, Internet, get an HD TV. Let me just say that.
Yeah, it was subtle and fast because it was a quick clip, and then it was a quick clip to Thor's face where he had a bit of a reaction.
Yeah, but
you could tell
clearly
he was shocked that he saw it jiggle a little bit. I mean, I thought it was funny watching Tony and Rhodey using both the War Machine and Iron Man gauntlets to try to lift it up, and that was pretty. That
was too much when he has the gauntlet on. When Tony first has the gauntlet on, and then you see it fire as he's trying to lift it. I was like, that was fantastic. What a great little moment. And then Rhodey's up on it. And he's like, "Are you even helping?" I was like, that was just great.
You know what's funny though? We're talking about S.H.I.E.L.D. and yet we're still not talking about S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, I know. But I had to address it. And also, because I just watched the preview again just before we got on. The girl, the mystery girl. If you notice, you do see her in one shot in that whole preview where it's her back. She's sitting in the chair when they're all sitting there around when they're trying to lift the hammer.
Right.
I wonder why, nobody ever noticed her before until that shot of them standing on that platform or in the through the glass. So I just think it's really interesting that she is clearly hanging out. So who is she?
Boy, that's a good question.
I don't know. You know what? Who knows? It could be Maria Hill for all we know.
No, Maria Hill's sitting on the other couch.
Was she?
Yep.
What? Okay.
Oh, yeah, she's clearly there.
What? It's funny. When
they show her a number of times. Although maybe I was watching How I Met Your Mother. No, it was clearly her.
Now, that's the clip that they showed, which was kind of more of the movie because the original clip got leaked, is it not?
Right.
I really thought that was almost like a fake, like they're all just sitting around in a off camera, like they're all off camera.
No, you know what that scene is, Jack? That scene is happening just before Ultron walks in and disrupts the party.
Yeah.
Looking like C-3PO in episode 1.
But it just had such a lighthearted kind of everybody hanging out that it almost felt like, hey, this is what we do when we're not, we're superheroes not on camera. We
do this and we eat shawarma.
True.
Actually,
and it's good.
We did eat shawarma when we were in Belgium and falafel, and man, we had but that was another time. But yeah,
Good story.
there's more to the story, but it was actually Belgium, and we did it. So
Okay. All right. Okay, so off of all that, I'm sure we'll get back to that because we didn't even talk about the Infinity Gauntlet thing that leaked. So in this episode, the basic crux of it, you know what? I never got an answer from you guys. Do you want to go piece by piece, or do you just want to talk about cool stuff?
well, I mean, let's kind of start with the opening at least, and like,
Okay.
Shield is done hiding. It
Well-
sets up the whole thing.
Wait a minute. Where do you get Shield is done hiding?
Isn't that what came out in like the very first scene? They're going into the UN, and the guy's standing on the table with that new little disc, which didn't they think was part of the obelisk? Like I thought
That was Hydra. That
Hydra.
wasn't Shield.
No, but the guy was dressed in Shield. He stands on the
Right.
table and says, "Shield is done hiding."
Right.
That's the words right out of his mouth.
Right, but Jack, that was Hydra. That was the whole crux of the show. Hydra was trying to put Shield in a bad light. They were trying to get the government to go against Shield to do their fighting for them. So when they came into that UN thing, that was actually Hydra dressed like Shield. The way you positively know that is from when they used that disc weapon. That is the technology that Whitehall has now.
Yeah,
That
that's
wasn't a
what
Shield weapon.
That was what I was about to talk about. That it was
Okay,
Hydra.
hello, am I crazy here?
I didn't say that was Shield. I said that the words out of the guy's mouth was Shield is done hiding. Not that I was confused that was, you know.
Oh,
that
I
was
get what
Shield.
you were saying.
I get
I was-
it now. Like
I was
you said
making a quote. I wasn't being like that
Okay.
was, you know, Jack Wondrowski just came up with the line, Shield is done hiding.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Jezebel, Jack Wondrowski. What were you thinking?
Thanks for listening
Should we
to
talk
Dubstep
some more
tonight.
about the Age of Ultron thing? Would that help us?
Maybe not. I don't know. I don't think we watched the same show.
Okay, so something really important happened here. Bobby Mockingbird came out in a Star Wars t-shirt. How
Bobby?
freaking awesome was that?
That was
I
pretty.
thought that was
Something
pretty
that was an important moment that I wrote down.
But you know, I really want somebody to come
Cross-promotion.
out and go, Bobby, from Hank Hill.
Right. Oh my gosh. Okay, so they had that weapon. Now we haven't seen them use that particular weapon before, have we? I don't remember them.
No,
Okay, so
that's
this was the first time.
Yeah,
so
and,
explain to me, because it seemed like that was weaponized obelisk, whatever they were coming with. But about halfway through, didn't they say, "Oh well, this was handed to them by such and so in 1940"?
No, it was that that Asian guy that Bobby went to go see. He's the one who developed the technology for this weapon.
Okay,
And,
Toshiro Mori.
right.
And Simmons said that she saw this this weapon, in her time over with Hydra, and that's why they knew kind of where to go.
So was
Okay,
this
so it
directly-
wasn't. Go ahead, Jack. I was going to ask something, but go ahead.
Well, I was just wondering, was that from the obelisk, or was this something that they were kind of working on already?
I think this is something that they were working on already. It doesn't seem. I know it seems similar, but the obelisk doesn't turn people into ash. It
turns them into
freezes
stone.
you. Yeah,
Right.
and this doesn't
I
do
was-
that. This
It looked
disintegrates.
very familiar, though.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was going to say. I was actually confused until right now. When you said that, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. It is a different weapon, but what it did to them looked so much like the obelisk. I thought maybe they're using that to like they haven't got the formula for it right yet, but they are able to melt people with it or turn them to ash. But you're right. It was Toshiro Mori had developed this weapon for them before. So maybe if they had used a slightly different color, like if they had turned into a more of a white or something, rather than it looked just like the stone, that would have helped.
Yeah, I agree. It did confuse me a little bit because I was looking for a definite connection.
Yeah,
Okay.
I get it. Yeah.
So, what about? Were you guys looking at Talbot to see if it was the real Talbot?
If it was the real no. Oh wait, let me fix that.
It's Aquaman Rob Southgate.
Yeah.
Or
No.
Brady.
Oh, in the water.
I was doing. You guys ever see the movie Enemy Mine? I was doing Lou Gossett Jr. from Enemy Mine.
But the Enemy Mine podcast will be starting next week.
Oh my gosh! No, no. This is our network. We'll have 4 Enemy Mine podcasts by next week.
Oh, good God!
Well, we do have that new show, 80s Reboot Overdrive. I guarantee there's going to be an Enemy Mine episode at some point. There better be a Last Starfighter one.
Oh, that would be awesome.
There has to
I
be.
love
Did I just say that out loud? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
You did.
Yes, you did.
I'm showing my age.
We knew you did because we could hear the fan rolling along. So, to answer your question, no, I actually never thought that he was fake Talbot. I think that was resolved last week. It never even occurred to me. But what I did think is that I thought that this was going to work. I thought their plan was going to work by setting Talbot further away from S.H.I.E.L.D., but I think the opposite happened. At the end, when he was approaching May and he was talking to May, I was like, yes, he's still at odds with S.H.I.E.L.D. On some level, but now he clearly sees Hydra's the threat. Yeah. And I thought that was a really cool thing.
It is, and I really, really hate to bring up the Spider-Man reference right now, but it was kind of like Jameson, where he thrives on the pictures but hates Spider-Man, where Talbot is going to want to be fed the good stuff from S.H.I.E.L.D., yet on the outside he's still, that's how he got his 1-star rank, is kind of taking that position. I don't think it's ever going to go away, but I think there's going to be like some kind of truce where it's going to benefit him, but in the back he's always going to be going, "Oh, that's S.H.I.E.L.D."
Yeah, there'll be a backdoor compromise, when the going gets tough.
Right.
When Hydra's not around and they're not a threat and Coulson's doing something he doesn't like, yeah, he'll go after him. But now that they know that they've got this, I think you're going to see more.
Well, the only attack that they've really experienced is Hydra attacking in a big bad way,
right?
And S.H.I.E.L.D. doing something about it. So Talbot he's going to be wary as you would assume, but I think that he's now going to be on S.H.I.E.L.D.'s camp for the most part.
And what told me that right from the get-go was Talbot was in Senator Ward's office going, "Sir, this attack may not have been S.H.I.E.L.D." I'm going,
right.
And that's the instant where I thought, where's Talbot? And what did, is
oh,
he
see, I thought the tide was turning at that point. So you took it as it was an imposter, and I took it this other way. Alil, let's break the argument. What did you think it was?
I thought Talbot was turning the tide. Like, he understood Coulson, and he didn't think Coulson was a bad guy, somebody who would do that, but he still didn't agree with what S.H.I.E.L.D. stood for, because S.H.I.E.L.D. has already proven not to be good, but I don't think he thought that Coulson's people did this or Coulson instructed this. So I'm with you, Rob. I didn't take it. Here's the thing. Here's why. Because I didn't think they would play that fake mask of Talbot, 2 out of the first 6 episodes. Because if they start doing that, then things start getting goofy. Yeah, then the story starts unraveling, because then it's like every episode you're wondering, is this fake Talbot or is this real Talbot? And I think you lose people, in the story. You got to keep something simple. You do it once, you can do it again later, but not with the same character.
Yeah, they don't have to do Talbot again. But Jack, you do bring up a good point. Now that you've said it, I'm starting to wonder if we will see that happen occasionally, where a character is acting maybe a little out of character. And now I'm going to start wondering, because the way Marvel works, they may not even reveal it in that episode. It could be 10 episodes down the line that all of a sudden it's like, oh, that's why that guy said that. It wasn't him.
Right. Because it could come back, maybe not as Talbot, but the President of the United States or Senator Ward, or, who knows?
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Because actually I was thinking about that with Senator Ward. Who is he really? Because things aren't fitting right with him. And maybe it is somebody within Hydra that has taken his face. Maybe that's why, Grant was like, you can't trust him. He kind of didn't want to reveal everything about his brother, but maybe he knew something further. Maybe it's not his brother, but it's something else.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's talk about this. This is the big sticky mess.
Sticky Wicket.
Who's lying?
That's a good point, because both of them really, haven't proven anything to us either way. Both could be lying. Both could be telling the truth.
And also, do you think Coulson? Now, I think that they were playing with us, because on the second viewing, I was really watching these scenes carefully, and when they were doing the lies, whoever was doing the lie, they were interspersing it with the other person,
right?
And I believe they were manipulating us to believe that one was lying and one wasn't. I think they were trying to manipulate us to believe that Grant was telling the truth.
Yeah,
but at the end, I think they were trying to make us believe that Coulson believed Christian was telling the truth. But I think that's all a ruse. I think that Coulson actually was the one that orchestrated it, that let Ward escape.
Yeah, I agree with you, because when Coulson was sitting in the chair and listening to Senator Ward kind of go on about this, really, oh yeah, I can't believe I let Ward do this to us, and
he seemed way too like.
Okay, yeah, I'm digging on what you got to say. That's cool, man.
I didn't buy it. And I thought the way he played it with Ward, I thought he's making sure Ward doesn't think that he's buying it. But I think Coulson, when he walked away from that transport, knew full well that Ward was going to get out of there.
Right. When he goes back up and says, "Don't give him an inch." Well, yeah, if you didn't want to give him an inch, you should have left him where he was. This is part of Coulson's plan, because this
more than that, if you don't give him an inch, you put him in a straitjacket.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you.
Hannibal Lecter didn't get to travel with just a pair of handcuffs on his hands.
No, not at all.
You're not giving him an inch. Why are you giving this guy an inch?
Right. Yeah, they gave him an inch by putting him in there, knowing full well he was trained for that. So this solves a problem that Coulson has. Coulson can't leave Ward in the dungeon forever. Right. He's not Hydra. I mean, as much as they want to say, oh yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D. is something, S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't about that. At least Coulson isn't that kind of guy. So it solves what to do with Ward. Ward leads him to whatever the senator has.
Do you think that okay, this brings up another question. Do you think that Ward knew that Coulson was letting this happen? I don't think so. Number one. Number two, do you think that they're using him as bait to lead them to something?
Yes.
Or do you think he's doing it to flush out the senator somehow?
Or
is it like a combination?
It could be a combination.
I think it is. I think what Coulson's trying to pull here is he doesn't trust the senator. I think he knows. I mean, because then you see that scene after he speaks to the senator of him with Ward's file, right? Right there going through it, and I think Coulson knows something. And
yeah, well, and we've seen Coulson this season kind of pull this, where it's like he's a couple of steps ahead of everybody. And that's why in these couple of scenes, I was like, if we take him at face value, that's what they're asking us to do, then okay, this is what it is. But nothing can really be at face value, because he's done this season repeatedly where he's been ahead of the game.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. And I think I don't think Grant knows this, but I think it's all part of the plan to get back to inside Hydra. Because he knows he's got Skye on his side, and he knows that Skye can get to Ward or Grant. This is
I know it's
words in the show now,
right?
So I think that's where he's going to be using that. I think he knows. I think this is all the big setup. It's weird. Like these last few episodes, like little things have happened, but it just seems like constant setup on top of setup on top of setup for this big game plan that Coulson's going to play at the end that we saw some of the previews for, coming up at the mid-season finale. Right. And I'm really curious of what, because now he's got Flowers in his pocket on one side. He's got Grant out there, trying to either get back to Skye's father or that group, because he said that he knows other connections so who are these other people that he knows to get to Sky's father? And
Right.
I'm wondering where that's going to lead.
Okay, I got a question, and I might sound like a fool here. Ward said which brother or something like that. What when Sky went up to him and said, your brother or something, and he's like, which brother?
Well, there's a younger one than Grant.
Right, because there's Christian, Grant, and then a younger one. Where's the younger one? What's the deal with the younger one? This is why I said I might sound like a fool. Is this something that we know about?
Well,
yeah, he told a story about him. Didn't he kill his brother?
No, I don't think he killed him, but I think he was forced to torture him. But I don't know that they ever. I don't recall if they ever said whether the younger brother was killed.
I didn't think
the kid was killed. Because wouldn't he have gone to jail for killing his brother instead of getting, pulled into S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I do remember thinking, he
was in jail. He was in juvie.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's how Garrett got him out.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
but
right.
It wasn't for killing.
He had killed.
Had he?
I can't recall. I thought he did. I thought he at the bottom of a well or something, and then they used it as that it was an accident, but his story was that his brother made him do it. And I remember maybe pushing him or hitting him or something, and him falling into a well,
killing him.
Yeah,
I didn't
maybe like
him.
something like the boy drowned because the older brother wouldn't let Grant give him a lifeline. Like they just kind of left him in that well way past the time, and he just exhausted and died. But maybe we just assumed because the next thing that he was in juvie that he'd been convicted of killing the boy, and we never got that confirmation.
All right.
Yeah, we may have to wait on that one because or kind of go back to that episode, kind of revisit that.
Well, I guess I got to pull out my S.H.I.E.L.D. box set.
Why don't we just call Charlie? Charlie will just tell us instantly.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm actually looking at on the Marvel Cinematic Universe wiki. It says that Grant Douglas Ward grew up in Massachusetts, had a difficult childhood. He had an abusive older brother who forced him to beat up his younger brother. His parents were worse. He also has a sister that he's no longer in contact with.
So maybe maybe what we're going to see is Ward is going to be reaching out to the other siblings instead of hiding.
Wait. And here it says, an incident in particular that had a profound effect on Ward was when his older brother threw the younger brother into a well and wouldn't allow Ward to rescue him. Ward eventually managed to do it without the brother knowing. And then he was recruited by Garrett later after being put in juvie for that incident.
Okay.
So this is coming from the wiki. Now, I don't know if this is completely accurate, but it seems like that information is coming from what they ascertained from the show.
Right. Well, so, if we take that, then the younger brother still is in play, and maybe that's who he reaches out to. If Ward is telling the truth, the younger brother will be his only refuge.
Now, wait a minute. This brings up the same problem, though. If the story that we got in the first season that they just based that on came from Ward's mouth.
Right.
Well, if he's lying, then that younger brother could be dead.
Well,
we don't know.
So if you take the fact that the younger brother is dead, it takes all of this out of play. There's nobody to go to and nobody to react with, so it's just a dead end.
Well, his sister.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You could go for the sister. So I guess what I'm saying is, if the opposite is true, then we don't have the kid on the radar either way.
So when's this sister going to surface? What's the deal with this sister? I didn't even know there was a sister.
I remember them saying something briefly about that one of the episodes early on. Now I'm trying to go back to what the senator was talking about. Did the senator confirm that there was a younger brother?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I can't recall because I was just thinking there that maybe it's not even that the younger brother's dead. Maybe the younger brother never existed. He had it all in his head because he's a psychopath. But okay, never mind that.
Well,
yeah, no, I think he did.
Given the fact that they're probably all three of them are probably levels of psychopath.
Probably. Well, and they seem that way. You know what I mean? Like when they were talking, both characters seem that way. I mean, I know it was supposed to meant to you figure out who's lying. I think both are lying. That's my thing. I think they are both lying about each other for different reasons.
Yeah, once again, I don't think we're getting redemption from Ward. That would really be disappointing to me. But I think that if you compare the two, he might be the lesser of the two evils.
Well,
they're playing it up like he's really evil, and I'm like, yeah, he's a soldier and he's loyal to the wrong side. But the senator seems like he's evil.
Yeah, and here's my theory: is this is the perfect out for everybody because Ward is going to go take the senator out. He saves the day. He's justified in some sort of redemption, but then gets killed in the act. And so it takes Coulson out of the equation. Coulson doesn't have to deal with him. You get some sort of redemption, but the character just kind of goes away.
Yeah.
And I think this is the beginning of that. I really do.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I see that possibility, but I don't know now. They keep playing with this Ward thing, and TV tells you that there's going to be a redemption story, and I don't know if he'll stick around. But I mean, if we're thinking Coulson's using him on purpose because he knows what he'll do, maybe that will tell a different story in Coulson's mind. I don't know. It's just very odd.
Well, tell me this then.
I'm hoping we're not going to a redemption story. I'm hoping that Ward is just a character that's a problem that's around.
I don't know.
I hope that it doesn't really get redemption.
But what if this does? This is the perfect out. He really won't ever get redemption with the team, but he takes care of his brother, which, in the overall kind of scheme of things, they're like, man, I'm glad he took him out, but I'm glad he's not back.
Yeah, but there's got to be some kind of connection with Skye because they've had, those two have really had the only interaction together this year outside of the one, Fitz meeting and the one Coulson meeting. So I think any kind of ending for Ward has to be tied to Skye. And maybe he does take out his brother and in the same time save Skye from her father. I don't know, but it just seems like they've already interconnected those two in a storyline that if they go this route, not that, we're going to cry about it, but like storytelling, it just kind of leaves it hanging. Like then why build up for 6 episodes, her continuing to go down and get information from him telling her, I will never lie to you. I will, always tell you the truth. I just want the best for you. And then just kind of end it with him dying, killing his brother. And that's kind of it. It's got to be more. I think it's going to be more involved. And I don't think I'm telling you, after this last episode, especially with him escaping, he does, I will bet right now he doesn't die this season.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily one or the other. I think that's all inclusive. I think he gets Skye and the father together, and there may be some point where he has to save her, but that in the end, that he does something to save somebody or get that redemption, but gets eliminated, or he just disappears in the woodwork, and every once in a while, he pops up in some odd country, and then there's Ward. Take a shot at him. Oh no, he disappeared. It could go that way, but no, I think both will. I think the interaction is going to happen with Skye, the father, and Ward.
Well, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm really kind of a loss on this whole thing. Part of me is fearful that we're going to go down a very obvious path, and the rest of me is saying, well, no, that's not what we're doing this season. And I have a feeling that we're getting set up for some things that we're just not expecting at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know because I think a show like this already proving last year that it had the ties to the cinematic universe that it did with Cap. I think the second half of the season is going to have some kind of ties with Age of Ultron, and I think that this storyline somewhere could get lost or has to get resolved, or like I said, kind of disappears. Like you were saying, Jack. Like all of a sudden, he's gone, Ward's gone, and next season we find out he's in Brazil hanging out and pulling a Edward Norton's Hulk, where he's just disappearing all over the place. And I don't know. It could go a bunch of different ways. I just feel that this show to me plays it a little more safe than we wanted to.
Okay.
And I don't know if they're going to take those risks with playing it safe. I think you're going to get more of a redemption story because I don't think they're going to have a character in for 30 episodes and just have it go that way. But again, I hope I'm wrong. I really do. But they haven't taken the risks I hope they had. They've had great episodes that I've really enjoyed. But as an overall year and whatever, where we at now, this would be episode 30, I think, right? I just don't see.
Don't ask us. We get that wrong every time.
I just don't see the risks that we want them to take being taken. That's why.
Well, I think that's where the tide turned last season, is when those risks seemed like they did happen, and it was like, oh wow, now this is a cool show. And I'm kind of holding out hope that maybe we're getting set up for some of that stuff. I'm hoping it doesn't go the other way and become, obvious.
I don't know.
Matlock on the bus.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite that bad, but I don't think this show has had a great track record for, oh my God, I didn't see that coming.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's
I agree.
We talk about all these other characters that could be in it and would be cool if this was in it. And it's like, you're right. I mean, I didn't, we're still talking about Lucy Lawless. Oh my God, she's got to be alive. Well, I don't know.
No, she's got to be alive, dude. She's got to be alive.
But we see that a lot in other shows where they get a big name for one episode, and you think something else is going to happen, and guess what? They're done.
I think that would be such a waste to have her, and she was interesting, and just boom, gone.
But that was
no way.
But that's why her death had impact.
She will probably come back at the mid-season break. That'll be like the cliffhanger. Is wait a minute, who is she, and why is she back?
But I think. Look at the old Star Trek. Like, was it Next Generation, where you had people that all they wanted to do was like little cameos, and it was either that, like she just really enjoys the show and she really enjoys Marvel and say, hey, fit me in somewhere, or do they have a plan? If they have a plan, then she comes back as Miss Deathlock.
Lady Deathlock.
Lady Deathlock. Sheena, Princess Deathlock.
Yeah, I mean,
make that happen.
Sheena, Princess Deathlock.
It's so awesome.
It reminds me of that Simpsons episode that she was in for the Halloween special, and she was like flying through the air, and they're like, Xena can't fly. She's like, no, but I'm Lucy Lawless, and she flies away.
Right.
Oh man, but I know what you mean, because in geek culture, Lucy Lawless is a big name, but in everyday culture, she's really not, and she's probably friends with the Whedons. I mean, they're involved in this, and they've had a huge TV run.
Yeah,
and
but this show is
aimed
at geek culture. And geek culture is going to be like, why did you kill her? And she had 10 lines and you killed her. That's ridiculous.
Well, it's funny. We talk about like geek culture.
Too high profile a position for that to happen.
But we talk about geek culture like it's still 1980. Geek culture is now the majority of young people that are computer savvy, that are plugged into Marvel things. There's just so much a larger percentage.
Yeah, but she's the star of geek culture pre this Marvel explosion. Because Xena and Hercules, we like them. I love them. Raimi's involvement. This is why I watched them. But it's today's culture. You ask kids who are 18, 19 who are big into the comics, and they'll know it, but they probably have never watched it. I don't even think it's on Netflix.
Because it's not on Netflix.
No, exactly. So. We're talking Lucy Lawless here, like she's a huge get, and I think for us, yes, she was, but again, they do this a lot on a lot of these shows. You get a get that you're happy with, that is friends of the show, that is involved in this, and you give her a cool role where you can get us nerds to feel for, like, oh my God, something cool is going to happen with her. And then when they kill her off, we're all like, oh my God, they killed her off. And we're talking about it for 6 episodes now.
Right.
And, I think that's what they did here. I mean, again, I hope she comes back, but I don't see it.
Is it the Lucy Lawless trap?
There you go. Yes. Yes. Let's talk more about Spider-Man and Sony. No.
Help me, I've been hypnotized.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy!
All right, wait a minute. We got to get back on track here for other stuff. Or do
So
we?
well,
I'm not
No,
sure.
that's all right. So word breaks out,
Here, no,
and
I got something. I got something.
the best
Can we
line of the
just talk
show.
for? Well, I don't have the best line of the show.
I think it was Simmons threatening to kill Ward. I was laughing.
What was the line? I don't remember.
I don't know, like something. If you ever come near
Oh,
Sky again, I will kill you or something. I was like,
yes,
what? I was like, that's so out of
yes.
character. Were you brainwashed by Hydra? It's like,
Totally. That walk of shame moment was fantastic, and the fact that Coulson kept the hood off through that whole thing.
yeah. Which I was
You know,
shocked.
he made him walk it with the hood off, and then when they got past everybody, they put the hood on. I'm like, oh, that's so mean.
I still
Well,
think Triplet's underutilized in this show, man.
Triplet had one line.
I know they need to get this man some more time. He is cool as hell.
Yeah, and he just kind of shows up. He's like, there's a call for you, Mr. Coulson. And scene. That was it.
I am happy to comply.
Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, even I know I always forget his name. I keep wanting to say that he's going to be Luke Cage, but I mean, he even had more lines talking with Fitz, Mac. Yeah, I'm just like, man, Triplet just got the shaft.
Yeah,
here.
he got the old Shaftola this time.
You know, it was.
They're
going
to feature him in something though, because he replaces Ward on the team as that like super spy guy.
Right.
He's that guy.
Right. They have Mac, who seems like he would, but he seems like they almost brought him to semi-replace Fitz.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, now he's kind of halfway in that role between translator and, and kind of half techie where he says, I've got some of the skills, but I can't really do what this guy's capable of. And he was the one that got with Simmons and said, look, I don't know what you're thinking, but I like this guy. I didn't know the Fitz that was the before Fitz. I only know this Fitz, and I like the guy.
Yeah.
And Simmons is like,
how could you like him? He's not smart anymore.
I miss my Fitzy.
That's so mean.
I'm just curious, like, I know Simmons is using, I don't want to say it's an excuse, but his condition is that excuse. But is it the condition, or is it that he basically, told her that he loved her before he sacrificed himself for her? Like, is there guilt? I mean, there's got to be guilt there for her, and I think that's what it is more than anything else. I think it's just her own guilt that she doesn't know how to deal with.
Yeah, well, it could be.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, too.
That, and maybe not just so much the guilt, but just the fact that it's not Fitz anymore, and she just doesn't know... She just doesn't know how to relate to him.
Yeah, because when they were talking and he was trying to explain, the missiles on the ship or on the plane, she just was like all over the place with him, and he was getting more frustrated. And then Matt comes in and he's like, "Oh man, yeah, these things are here from the '40s," and like he knew how to speak.
Good impression.
But when I saw that, I really felt like we'd had so much of that Fitz and fake Simmons interaction that it kind of brought us back to reality. Going, Simmons answered like everything, and he was used to that. Like if he forgot a word, his brain Simmons would come in and just pick it up, but real Simmons couldn't. It's like, the relationship that he had in his head was perfect, and that just doesn't exist. And I think that's what was really highlighted there. We kind of were plugged into this, and they said, that wasn't real, and this is real.
Yeah. Okay, I'm shifting gears again. I want to talk about the absolutely best fight scene I think they've ever had. When we were watching May kick butt and Mockingbird kick butt, I was like, this is too much. That was fantastic. I thought the May on May fight last week was awesome, but this topped it in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it was much more content.
And I mean, I thought the May on May, that was, I mean, last week, you remember we were just dying over that. This, I was like, oh my God, I went back and watched it like 3 times just to see that whole thing play out. Mockingbird fantastic. May, when she's taking on that guy now, Alil. Okay, Jack, I know you're not going to know. Alil, no offense, Jack, I know you're not going to know. Alil, was that guy somebody? The guy that she was fighting that had the knife on the chain?
I kept trying to think who he could be, because you're right, that weapon that he had.
I feel like I've seen that weapon.
Well,
I feel
I've
like
seen
there's
it
a
in
character, and I'm thinking like a one-shot character in like a Hawkeye comic or something is what I saw him in, but I don't know who it is.
like Daredevil or something, or Punisher, where like it would be like some kind of assassin after somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
It is very familiar. I can't recall. I really can't. I mean, I know when I was watching that scene.
Watch Jack know who it is after I said all that.
Well, actually, it is Noah. Well, my thought was it was like the perfect foil for Mockingbird, because
but he was fighting May.
But with that same sort of technique, like we've got our Mockingbird, and that was kind of where she's got the two-handed little thing going, and that was kind of their version of it.
Sure. So he's the mirror image with what he's doing.
Right.
I swear he's somebody, though. I swear he's a character. We're going to see him come back.
Didn't he die? Didn't he get the thing in him?
Did they?
I thought
I swear he's not going to come back.
Hey, are we talking about what we were talking pre-show again?
Yeah.
We get that thing in him?
Yeah. I'm rooting Rob Southgate with me. Oh, my gosh.
Wait, it took a second.
So, okay. What about Bobby? Are you guys digging having her on this show as much as I am? She's kind of making the show for me right now. Like, I wait for her character to be on.
Yes, it's like the least campy of the group.
Yeah, she's amazing. And you know what? DC, you screwed up. She was cast as Wonder Woman. You can see how good she is in a superhero role right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
but man, she's good.
Yeah, but I don't see her as Wonder Woman, though. I mean, I agree she's good, but have you watched that Wonder Woman pilot?
No, but do you think
it was awful?
Do you think the chick Gal Gadot or whatever that's playing Wonder Woman in Batman versus Superman, you think she's any better?
Is it the actress or is it the content?
Yeah, the content was terrible.
The content was terrible. I don't. But that's the
thing. I didn't watch
it
because I read the script and it was awful.
It was pretty bad. But
you could see her, instead of the weapons, transfer that to the little rope and the little cuffs as the bullets come in. That if you did it like a real martial arts thing, she'd be stellar in that.
Yeah.
But you'd have to actually...
They're lost because we got her here. She's awesome as Mockingbird.
And she's huge. She is so much taller than everyone else on the show.
Right?
It seems like everyone's really short. Like, that scene that she was walking with Simmons, I'm like, how tall are you?
Like, when they go to Disneyland, she's the only one that can ride all the rides.
Hey-o.
Her and Mac.
Yeah. In real life, they're like 5'6". Everybody else is like 4'11".
Yeah, Fitz can they can wear Fitz in a Baby Bjorn.
Baby Bjorn. Haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah. I own a baby store. I got to throw that out there.
Well, talking about characters, and clue me in, Vincent Beckers. I didn't know where he fit in.
I wrote the name down, but on second viewing, I think we were supposed to know the name because they threw it out about his brother or his grandfather being part of Hydra.
No.
I don't think that was a character that we know. Am I wrong?
No, he was on that newscast that they were watching.
Right. And he was the UN guy that was Vincent Becker or Decker or whatever.
Right, and that's the only reason I think that they kept saying.
And when they tied it together is when they said his grandfather was part of Hydra, and it was like, okay. So I think that's all it was, Jack. I think they were just telling us the name so we'd hear the name.
Okay, yeah,
that's not a character I've heard of.
Well, like you felt with the other guy, I felt like I should know who this guy is.
Yeah, like he's somehow one of these, like a Red Skull crony or something, right?
Or, maybe he was another one of the, Dr. Whitehall kind of, like, this guy's been around for a long, long time. Because that's kind of the feeling I got, like, an Inhuman or something where, an Eternal or something that, like, we're going to find out that this guy has been around just as long as Whitehall.
Sure.
No information in the Marvel wiki about Mr. Vincent Beckers. So
Okay.
Although you know what? Once again, this could be something that comes up later, or maybe Vincent Becker shows up on Agent Carter.
and they could, or his father, I guess.
Yeah, or his grandfather, or whatever. Yeah. Yeah. So we got to watch for that. We'll have to remember that. I can hardly wait for Agent Carter to start. Like, this is going to be awesome.
And so, do you think the Merc is gonna? It looked like Bobby gave him the all clear. Like, if you want to stay, like,
yeah. Oh, he's
cool.
going to stick around. That was okay. There's my bad of the episode when he packed his bags and was like, "Okay, I'm out of here." And then she said, "Oh, but we're all good." I was like, I'm glad she said we're all good, but him packing his bags, I was like, what a wuss move.
It really was. It was.
Yeah,
like,
I was like, that's as wussy as a Lil
bag.
writing me and saying, "Am I fired from the show?" I mean, just wussy.
Right.
True.
But don't you think that was partly part of the setup when he got in? Like, look, I've got all my crap here. I'm ready to go. Well,
I know.
And then 90 seconds later, the girls come flying in on either side of him and start opening up a can of whoop ass.
Right.
I really didn't think, oh, well, I think he just kind of sat there going, well, everybody loves Bobby. There's no room for me. Sniff, sniff. I'll just go away. And it was just to say, hey, look,
So maybe that whole thing can just be over. And we don't have to have him be, oh, I hate her, and I'll just leave. We can get over that whole storyline. Maybe that's all it was. Now we're done with that.
Yeah, I think so. But I am kind of like, anytime he's like says something, May's like, I don't like you, right? It's like, yeah,
right.
We get it. He's still the mercenary. To me, it's just going to be one of those ones like, you're not really part of the team unless May has tried to shoot or kill you.
Right. She hasn't tried to kill Mockingbird yet, but
not yet.
Her time is coming. Her time is coming. I guarantee it.
But and not Mac either. But I think she did. She was taking pot shots in general when Trip was still part of the team.
Of course. What we see is she's been slowly poisoning Mac. So she is doing it to him, but it's slower.
Yeah. Poisoning him with her good looks.
Whew. Yeah.
Hey-ho.
Hey-ho. Yeah, it's too bad this is such an ugly cast, huh?
I know. Kill me.
Unbelievable. If the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like if we were cast as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it would be a very different piece of eye candy, let me tell you.
The show would have been canceled by now.
Right.
No one would watch.
There'd be a podcast talking. Did you see that fight scene? Those guys can't even lift their legs up past their knees.
Yeah. He threw one punch and he was out of breath and passed out.
A bag of candy, you're referring to the Jelly Bellies that smell like vomit and charcoal and booger.
Those are Mrs. Bot's Birdie's beans or something.
Yeah.
From Harry Potter.
I know. You said it so wrong.
I don't even know. This is Birdie Bots or Billy Bots.
Beanie's bearded beans.
Welcome to the Nuff Said Podcast. I'm Billy Birdie Bots Beans. Well, at least with that name, I get a different one every time. I have no idea what that is.
So the last detail that I have is they let out the fact that Crazy Guy, that's how they referred to Sky's dad, has delivered the obelisk to Dr. Whitehall. And that, of course, Coulson went, what?
Right. He almost dropped his Grumpy Cat mug. Yeah, that is going to play out big. Once again, getting to the mid-season hiatus, I think that we're going to have. I mean, I don't think they're going to resolve this obelisk thing by then, but maybe they will.
I think the big resolution is something with the alien writing and Age of Ultron.
Yeah. Okay. Did you guys get past the preview? Because I didn't on the first viewing. Tonight I did to see what the little teaser at the end.
With Coulson and like the MRI machine or something?
No. You're talking, that's the teaser for next week. No, the little bit at the end of the show after the Avengers trailer, there was a guy that went into a tattoo parlor and he was getting that thing that Coulson was writing on his body.
Yeah, the dude from Numbers. I don't know if you guys ever watched the show Numbers. He was one of the other detectives.
Right. He's the one that, spoiler, he's the one that went bad.
Yes, which was sad to me.
Yes. Speaking of numbers, we watched Addams Family 2 today, Addams Family Values, and David Krumholtz is like 15 in that movie.
Wow.
You ever see that movie?
Of course, yeah. David
Yeah.
Krumholtz has been in a lot of raunchy comedies recently as well.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny that he was such a young kid there, and he was good.
It's funny.
He's the one that kind of is infatuated with Wednesday. It was good.
In the Blacklist, which we have, Melissa and I have a podcast. The butler from Addams Family, the real tall, like gaunt.
Is he in that?
He is in that. He is the bad guy from this past Monday, and it was.
Oh, I might have to watch that.
It was awesome. He's like the love
child. Does he
child.
talk, or does he just go?
No, he talks, but it's really weird, and they've got like this old timey tub, and he like with the suds, and his mom's drawing like where they put the boiling water in the bath, and he puts the suds around his jaw, and he does like a ho 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 ho, and the Norman's mom basically is like. Oh my son, oh you're so cute, and the dude's like 7 foot 8 inches tall in the tub, making
this sounds good and weird.
Oh yeah, it was sinister. He was like a human taxidermist. It was awesome.
Oh yeah, I got to see that. I'm gonna have to watch that one.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome. Now you got me with that. Okay, so what were we talking about? I started talking about David Krumholtz. You ever see Down and Out in Beverly Hills? No. Slums of Beverly Hills. Down and Out in Beverly Hills is the one with Nick Nolte. That was good too, but Slums of Beverly Hills?
Yes.
You remember David Krumholtz in that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
things I hate about you and
but that movie in particular is David Krumholtz to us. Like, we've known him in all these other things, but every time we see him, we're like, hey, it's Luck Be a Lady. Because of that scene where he's in his underwear singing, and he's stoned and he's singing Luck Be a Lady. That's amazing.
They called you Lady Luck. Oh, wait. I'm in my undies?
Yeah, have you seen it? Have you seen the movie?
I have not. I don't think so. Wait. I think I did.
It's got Alan Arkin in it.
Yes.
And,
yeah. Actually,
Natasha Lyonne. Is that how you say her name?
Yes.
Natasha Pantaleone or Leone? Yeah.
Leone.
Yeah. Pantaleone is Joey Pants, right?
Yeah. You got it. Yeah.
I'm getting everything all confused.
I don't know what
I ate a bad Bernie bits.
So let's get back to Tattoo Guy. What were you?
So he was getting Coulson's tattoo on him, and he's like, "Finish it. The pain helps." It's like, what is going on?
And he was drawing. And he was drawing it himself because he grabbed the arm. And yeah.
So where is that coming from?
Well, you could open up the argument, but I think that's anybody with that Cree.
How did this dude get the Cree in him?
Well, there's probably...
you know what my theory.
Wait, that was pre-show again. But
right.
Yeah, I think it's all going to tie into I think it's a movie tie-in. But anybody that has they're going to make a case.
I'm thinking it's not. We don't have a Marvel movie until Avengers.
Well,
we got a long wait now.
I
don't think they're going to let it sit that long. I think we're going to know all that stuff in the next couple of weeks.
It'll be a Big Hero 6 tie-in.
Oh, can you imagine if that's what it was? That would be amazing.
But
we get a scene. We get a scene where, like, as they're walking by, you see him trying to shove that big balloon guy like in a closet. That's the only Big Hero 6 reference on here. That'd be awesome.
From a story perspective, Sky has already said.
Jack ignores me.
Well, I wasn't trying to ignore you. I was trying to kind of kindly rustle you back to the corral.
Oh, it's getting harder.
Well, that's a personal issue.
Yeah, I know. I get it. So anyway.
TMI. That's all I'm saying.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
So, I mean, do you want to finish that, or do you want to go back?
Go ahead with your thing.
Your thing seems perfectly interesting.
Yeah, no, I don't know what I was talking about, so.
But Sky has said, look, I know what this is. It's a map. And so we, obviously we can figure it's some sort of alien map. My theory is this is like a call to arms. Anybody that's on Earth with this DNA is getting the signal and it's tweaking. And Coulson comes up to Sky and he says, we're all having this reaction, but you, which makes me, I'm not trying to judge or anything, but I think, Sky, you're some sort of full-fledged alien. You're not, you're not part of the Injectables. You're part of whatever,
there's the new team, the Injectables.
I was gonna say that's a Disney cartoon. But
that just got added. It just got added to the slate of Marvel movies coming up. The Injectables.
All right,
Age of Injectables.
I'm copywriting that right now.
Okay, you do that, Jack.
See how much that brings me.
5 cents.
Hey, you're doing better than us.
That's 1,000% increase in my salary.
Are we done with this yet? Can we end this one?
There's one thing I want to say.
One more thing. Okay.
Okay.
And it's about Spider.
It's how does Spider-Man fit into the new MCU? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, that ends this show. You don't have to stay here, but you can't stay here. And with some birdie beans.
But
okay.
I was gonna get a little some background music.
Yeah.
It's why it was just crazy that and we talked about it earlier about Ward breaking out, but how he did it by freaking breaking his bones to get the handcuffs.
Oh, he cracked his hand.
Well,
That's just insane.
He didn't crack the hand. What he did was dislocate his thumb.
Yeah,
that was way cool.
That was way cool.
I'm holding my hand right now. I don't even think
But I'll tell you what, that's the clue right there that Coulson knew, because all they had were the handcuffs on him. He knows that that's part of something he can do because of his training and because of who he was.
And he forces him Ward to do that because he's got Ward completely freaked out. He's not just giving Ward to Christian. He's setting this whole thing up for some reason, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. He said to Christian that he's going to give it to him because he wants him to lay out that it wasn't S.H.I.E.L.D., that it was Hydra. That was the sale. Right. And here, you can get him. Your guys took him, but he knew he was going to get out. So, because the way it should have been done was the way that Coulson has been doing it before with Talbot, bringing the guys directly to him. Not saying, here, pick him up from here and drive him all the way. You know what I mean? It's like the perfect
it doesn't make
setup.
any sense.
So we get back to exactly what you said at the beginning of the podcast. Is Ward going to recognize this fact that Coulson just gave him, the nod, or is he, I think that's why he's still going to be in the mix. He's going to be, helping Sky get to her dad or something. Because Coulson gave him, is he going to recognize that?
Oh, I'm sure he recognizes it.
I mean,
but I wonder if he knew going into it that was going to happen.
No, I think the terror was in his eyes. You're giving me to my brother. You got to be kidding me.
Okay.
Agree.
I'm not sure. Because when he said that thing about, tell Sky this doesn't change anything, I wonder if that was him saying, all this is about to go down. Let her know my deal is still on the table with her.
I think that's spot on.
Well, I'm sure his deal is on the table, but,
talking about pre-show again.
But
all right, I'm ending it.
I didn't know where to go from there.
We're going to cut this off right now.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening, everybody. You can find past episodes of this and Super Connectivity and the Marvel Comics Roundup at our website, which is www.southgatemediagroup.com. You know what? I'm wrong. We don't put the Comics Roundup on there. Guess what? Sometime in the next couple days, I'll add it to the website, so I won't be wrong. We have all of our social media on there. I'm getting all lost in all of this. If you want to tweet us, I tweet live during the show at Nuff Said Pod. Jack, what do you tweet from?
I at J Wengroski, and we have at Blacklist Pod. But if you want to do the show, go to my Twitter.
Okay. And Alil, what do you tweet from?
I tweet from my other podcast, The League of Geeks. That's Geeks with a Z at LOGEEKZ. And I also try to tweet during the show. Sometimes I am so engrossed in the show, I forget to tweet. So
Yeah, I usually try to tag you guys in things and get so that people know, like, oh, you can follow him, he's on, and stuff like that. So, yeah, follow all of us, and definitely check out the League of Geeks podcast. Check out the Blacklist podcast that's on our network. Just lots of good stuff. I think that's it.
That's it. And I'll do a little shameless plug.
Do it.
I got my replacement earphones. I had just a small issue, and Tweaked Audio sent me a new pair. No questions asked, and directions how to send the old pair back. So I am back in business.
Excellent. Yeah, those Tweaked headphones are great. If you want to join our club, We Have Tweaked Audio Headphones Club, which I don't think Alil is in. You can go to our website and click on there are little ads on there that are yellow. That's how they kind of stand out on the page. You click on that, it takes you to Tweaked Audio. Put in the coupon code Southgate. You get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty, which is all good. And the price on the headphones to begin with is good. Getting 30% off is amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love them. I absolutely love them. I think that's going to be my Christmas gift going out to people this year because they're so good. That and, something where it encourages them to subscribe to every one of our shows and rate us and review us.
And
so,
you get
30%
off.
And 30% off.
There's a 30% off tattoo of the Southgate Media Group logo.
Oh, well, very nice. Okay, that's it. Thanks for listening, everybody. I was going to say my name, but I'm rooting Rob Southgate. That's it. You guys want to say your names?
I think I was Jezebel Jack Wendrowski.
And I'm Age of Alil.
Yeah, see, how do we not let Age of Alil get through? So we had to do that again. That's it, everyone. Thank you for listening. Enough said.
Enough said.
If you would like to donate to help pay for this and other Southgate Media Group podcasts, simply go to our website, southgatemediagroup.com, and click on the donate button. It can be as little as $1 or, well, as much as you want. Help keep this fun going by supporting this and our other shows. Thanks again for listening, everyone. You're the best fans in the world.